33 boxers make up the bracket, and it's this woman who began her contest in a round of 64, Alісса Mendozа, from the top of the draw, outpointing the woman from Mongolia on a unanimous point decision verdict before taking a unanimous point decision win over the woman from Greece. It was a unanimous point decision verdict for the southpaw Молочко, who showed wonderful variety in outpointing Gaswan Asur of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia a couple of days ago. So this promises to be a fascinating contest, because Alісsa Mendozа, fantastic skill set of her own, the 20-year-old, 2022 national champion of the United States of America. But Молочко, so relaxed when she goes about her work in the boxing ring. So we're underway then. Alісsa Mendozа operating out of the southpaw stance. She's the boxer wearing red. Beautiful up jab after working down to the body from Mendozа. And Anastасія Молочко, slightly taller of the two, just looking to establish her own range and mastery of distance. So two relaxed operators, just jockeying for position at center ring, reaching for a left cross, just finding a home for it at the end of its reach was Mendozа. Again, look at the battle for the lead foot position as each boxer tries to get their foot outside of the lead leg of their opponent, thereby controlling the space available on the outside.
Good body shot there by Mendozа.
Left, right, not too far away from Молочко. Mendozа responds with a burst of punches to the body. That's a cracking left jab from Молочко, catching Mendoza as she was advancing. Very stiff and straight from the woman in blue. Beautiful right hand over the top, followed by a left cross from Mendoza. Молочко in search of a backhand of her own out of that orthodox stance. And Молочко mentioned the fact that she was very relaxed in her round of 32 victory, but her defense is appearing rather open. Quick start on the resumption from Mendoza. You can see left hand followed by a right hook from Mendoza. She's bobbing and weaving her way forwards. Молочко backing up towards the outer edges of center ring before claiming her opponent. But her elbows are away from her torso, her hands somewhere around her pecs. And against a quick, sharp shooter like Mendoza, that's going to present plenty of opportunity to get her clusters of punches away.
Oh, Ukraine in blue needs to be careful. She's getting a lot of warnings about holding.
2 minutes and change gone as Mendoza goes in search of a jab to the body. Beautiful jab upstairs from Mendoza, and look at her dig away to the body. Well, that looks like the final talking to from our referee from Kazakhstan in the direction of Молочко. And again, it's Mendoza with her front foot outside the lead leg. Beautiful double right hand. It was a jab, and then she turned it around, showing fantastic variety on that lead right stick. And Молочко, as she has her head jolted back once again, just hasn't found her range or distance with any consistency in this opening round. So on a 10-second clapper, Mendoza sprinting back out to center ring. I think that's a round for the woman in red all day long. Молочko's team have got to come up with some type of adaptive strategy here now, and she's got to implement it. 10-9 across the board in favor of Alісса Mendozа of the United States. Very good round of boxing indeed.
Really good work there from Mendozа. Just pressing the pace, not letting her opponent Молочко get into the fight at all. In fact, making her opponent Молочко hold because she was coming forward with so much ferocity and punch work, leaving her opponent in blue no choice but to hold. But I guess if you're close enough to hold, you're close enough to hit, and instead of holding, she could be throwing punches there.
Well, she's had a good look at Mendoza's methodology. Really was just exiting the ring. A congratulatory pat on his boxer's left leg But the onus is on the woman in blue to do something different as we move into the second round. The opening round saw Alісса Mendozа find her range immediately, and despite being the shorter boxer, she repeatedly out-jabbed Молочко, just as she did there, going to the body. Then a double jab, and the left cross came through with plenty of purpose. And Молочко just can't find the distance. You see her trying to snake out the straight shots, but she's finding herself at mid and short range, and they're going long over the shoulders of Mendozа.
Yeah, she really does. Молочко, you can see she's trying to throw as her opponent comes in, but because Mendoza's coming in so fast, she just doesn't have time, and then automatically she instinctively holds.
So still in search of her distance and timing is Молочко. She hasn't found those qualities yet, and in the meantime, Mendozа is able to make hay. Minute gone in this second round. Can Mendozа make the adjustment in her second attempt to qualify here in Bangkok, a second attempt to qualify for Paris 2024, having been bested in the second preliminary round of the first global qualifying event in Busto Arsizio. And again, she's a wonderfully relaxed, fluid boxer at her best, but Mendozа just not giving her the time or the opportunity to showcase those skills. And with half of the second round gone, Молочко still remains in search of her own timing and judgment of distance. Had precious little success to speak of. Can't fault Молочko's effort, but just hasn't been able to find her flow.
Yes, Молочко really has been trying. She has a little bit of success there, but she spent a lot of the time holding instead of punching. I think she's being very fortunate it's not a different referee.
Both boxers have been spoken to on numerous occasions about various infringements, not keeping their head up. There's a nice left hand from Молочко, perhaps her best shot of the entire contest. But again, look at the number of punches landed by Mendozа compared to those put out by Молочко. You can see she's a boxer who needs space, but again, look at that counter right hand. It was out and back to the on-guard position while Молочко was still unfurling her own straight shots. Fantastic speed demonstrated by Mendozа, and Молочко has got to try and find some timing to counter that speed. But again, look at that, put on the end of a right jab, left cross, and then forced to cling on near her own corner. And that has been the story of the contest in microcosm. Молочко has got to do something different, because at the 10-second clapper, for my money, she's been outboxed once again. Another right-hand success from the southpaw in red.
Really good boxing from Mendozа. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised. Oh!
Left hand.
Word.
Crashes through the defenses of Молочко just before the bell sounds to end round number 2. Cleanly picked punch to conclude the stanza, and it is all Alісса Mendozа. Another 10-9 round return. She is flowing beautifully. This woman and her corner have got to come up with something drastically different if they hope to box their way through to the quarterfinals.
I was just about to say before that shot landed, I wouldn't be surprised if every judge gives it to Mendozа for that round, because she boxed really well. And Молочко that was the left hand that just went in there, right on the button. Молочko's just struggled to get into this fight. First and second round were pretty much the same. Maybe she'll try and work harder in this last round.
So words of encouragement from Молочko's corner as she walks out to center ring to begin the third and final round. She has been outboxed on a consistent basis by the 20-year-old from Boise, Idaho, Alісса Mendozа. The shorter boxer has had real success with straight punches. Her foot positioning has been fantastic, invariably on the outside of Молочko's lead left leg, giving her control of the ring territory. Not too far away from Молочко, but Mendozа enjoying success as well. And again, cluster of punches on the inside. Молочko, a lot of great boxers have a strong preference of boxing in their preferred style. Not suggesting that they can only box one way, but if you make them box in a different vein, they become entirely different operators. And Молочko likes the time and space of the ring. She's been met with a little buzzsaw of a boxer in the form of Alісса Mendozа. And now she finds herself 20 points to 18 down Oh, that's a good straight shot success for Molочко. Can she find more of that? And look at her body language. It's entirely different now. Bobbing up and down on her toes after finding the range with that three-shot combination. But then back comes Mendozа behind that straight right hand. And while Molочko's holding, Mendoza's quarrying away to the body. But just in that brief cameo, Molочко showing what she can do and what we expected her to be demonstrating to a far larger extent than we've seen so far.
This is what we expected to see her doing from round one. She's just finally finding her timing, but it could be a little bit too late.
Gonna have to do a lot more of that. And oh, that's another left hand followed by a right hand. No standing count forthcoming. Catching the unprotected chin of Molочко with cleanly picked punches is Alісса Mendozа. And look at her continue to work away until the referee says otherwise. Well within her rights to do that. Molочко not taking the opportunity to reciprocate. Left cross to the chest landed by Mendozа, who would look to restore what she feels is the natural order of things by getting to work with accurate left hands like that out of the southpaw stance. Flashing roundhouse right, followed by a straight right hand out of the port-sided stance from Mendozа, who after that brief period of success for Molочко, well, it's woken Mendozа up, and she's saying, okay, hold this, as she continues to go through the gears. Heel of the hand with the right glove into the face of Molочko. That illegal, of course, but every variety of lead right hand on display here this evening from Mendozа, who has boxed very effectively indeed through this contest.
Really good work there from Mendozа. The head movement on the way in to create openings has been superb. Oh, beautiful straight left.
Straight left, stepping off to her right. Fantastic shot selection once again. And although we're talking about the punches with her hands, the placement of her feet has been masterful during the course of this contest. She's a rough customer on the inside as well. And Molочко, well, she had a brief cameo of success in the third and final round, but she has been bested by Alісса Mendozа. The 20-year-old from Idaho will be going through to the quarterfinal stage, and just look at the body language as she makes her way back to Billy Walsh, who removes the head guard. Former head coach of the Irish team, Olympic boxer himself, back in the games of Seoul '88. Fantastic fighter. And now he heading up the once and hoping to be mighty again USA program. Claressa Shields, as we've mentioned, has been flying the flag on the Olympic stage, taking medals in 2012 and 2016 of the golden variety, but the USA remaining in search of their first male Olympic title since 2004 Athens. Here, Alісsa Mendozа one step closer to becoming an Olympian herself, because that was a beautiful display of boxing. Here's the verdict. So Alісsa Mendozа jumping for joy, because she is now one win away from securing one of the 4 Olympic quota places available at women's 57 kilograms. A very good display indeed. A variety